Some of the 9/11 families, as we mentioned, at Ground Zero tomorrow, some of them will be very happy to see the president. Some of them have, over the years, had a bone to pick with the commander-in-chief on a number of issues. Upset about the controversy that surrounded the terror trials and also the prosecution of certain CIA agents for techniques that were used during interrogation. Those are some of the hottest issues that the families have pursued, but they've pursued many issues, and at the forefront of doing that, one of those people is Tim Brown. He was on the scene at Ground Zero on that fateful day in September of 2001 and lost 343 of his fellow firefighters that day, and has really championed their cause ever since. Tim, welcome. It is good to see you. I am very curious how the people are being chosen. 'Cause I spoke with one family member last night who said she very much wants to go, but they're all waiting to find out who's going to get this opportunity to actually speak to the president. How is this working?
Well, we've been trying to find that out. We asked that question directly to some officials, and they would not release that information on how they're being picked. They would not release the list of those that were going to be invited. I know family members that are invited, and I know some that aren't.
Yeah.
I'm getting texts right now, since this news came out about the photographs, from family members that are extremely upset about the way this is going. They feel that those photos should be released, and they would like to be there tomorrow to express their feelings to the president, but they're not invited. So they're very upset that they're not going to be a part of it tomorrow. It's very insulting, and I'm not sure I know the answer to it.
I'm guessing that people like yourself will not be on that list.
I'm not on the list.
Because, you have been very outspoken about the way these things have been handled. And it's unfortunate, because I know that you've been trying to get your voice heard. Deborah Burlingame is another who has very much wanted to have a face-to-face with the president on this issue. And for years, there has been, many would say, that the families have been ignored.
And what I understand, that is true. We've been fighting for 2 years now against a civilian trial in Lower Manhattan for KSM Company, right? They made it very difficult on us, which was completely unnecessary. Then we had to fight Eric Holder on military trial versus civilian trial. It appears that we've won that one, but it's taken tremendous emotional energy for us to fight that fight. I believe that the families have been completely disregarded by this administration. Also, with the Ground Zero Mosque, a large number of families are completely against that. In fact, it's probably the one issue the families are most agreeable on, is that should not be built there. Yet the President of the United States disregarded us and pushed forward and endorsed that. So for him to make this campaign stop tomorrow, to pat himself on the back for what happened on Sunday, is completely disingenuous. He's going to use the families as a backdrop, and I hope that people see the transparency.
Well, let's look at it from the other side, because they're going to say, look, this is a big moment for the country. It's one of those unique moments where we have seen, people rallying, people cheering the United States in the streets, very much in the way that we saw after September 11th. That the president wants to go to Ground Zero in this moment in order to celebrate what is a very big and proud moment for the United States. What say you? Well,
I think the big moment was Sunday night when SEAL Team 6 pulled the trigger. I think that this is a pure campaign stop for him. In my opinion, is he should do something privately with the families. He should say, we got him, and they should praise him for doing that, and we should go away. Instead, he's making a big spectacle of it, and trying to boost his numbers. It's transparent to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but.
Let me ask you this. What's your understanding of how they're choosing the families? In some ways, it's almost like when he does a town hall meeting, people get invited, right? So I'm very curious about this, because if you're a family member who has opposed the mosque, for example, your name is on a list, right?
Right,
and I'm guessing that you're not going to be invited.
Right.
To also be fair, there are families who have been very supportive of this president, who very much wanted to see those trials happen in New York City. The families have been divided on these political issues, as would be expected.
Sure. I know that I've not been included in anything since September 11th. It's difficult. For example, my friend Terry Hatton, who was murdered that day, he has parents, he has a wife, he has a sibling, he has nephew. How do you decide?
Right.
How do you decide? it's a problem the New York City Fire Department faced, which was very difficult. So as for being on a list, I think everybody should have the opportunity to go tomorrow if they want to.
What's your understanding of how it's going to work? And I think we'll get some of the details in this press conference, but is it going to be an open forum where we see the president interacting with families, or is it going to be behind closed doors?
I don't know. I don't know, but I would suspect it'll be fairly scripted.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll have the opportunity to ask difficult questions tomorrow.
Let me ask you this, because I'm wondering this about the president, because I think we do see presidents sort of evolve through their presidency. I'm curious, and I don't think you can answer this by putting it out there, what the impact was on him of watching that Navy SEAL team in action, in terms of his appreciation and understanding, of what these folks do, and whether or not that extends at all to a further understanding. And I'm not saying that he wasn't grateful for everything that and all of the treasure that was lost on 9/11, and that he doesn't understand that. I'm not suggesting that at all. But has it changed, based at all on this event?
Well, I think he has changed, certainly. I don't know how any human being or any American can watch that proud moment and not be deeply moved by it.
Absolutely.
The people that should be with the families tomorrow are the Navy SEALs.
That they won't, because they're not willing to take any credit for it, and they can't.
The Navy SEAls and the CIA folks who tracked this down over the last 4 years. Those are the American heroes that should, in a private setting, with the families, they should be thanked by the families. I mean, that's...
And wouldn't those families love an opportunity to embrace those
That's
guys?
what tomorrow should be.
And that's what, and I spoke to a former Navy SEAL yesterday, and he said, but they never will, because these guys don't want that kind of credit, and that's enough for them, that they know how much those people, love them and want to embrace them for what they did. They asked President Bush to come. They asked Rudy Giuliani to come and be there tomorrow. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I think President Bush did the right thing. I'm not sure what Mayor Giuliani has decided. I suppose it's a difficult decision for him to make. For me personally, I have no interest in it. I just went down to ground zero for the first time this morning quietly. The job was done Sunday night. I believe the Navy SEALs when they say they got him. I don't need to see a photograph. I don't need proof. And I'm extremely proud of this country. So, I don't think Mayor Giuliani needs to go, or President Bush. And I think that the photo op that President Obama is going for is not right. I don't agree with it.
Well, you have, been a living example, and I'm so struck by your tenacity. 10 years later, you have never let the memory of your friends die from that day. So you deserve great credit for that.
Thank you.
And we thank you for everything you've done in that regard.
Thank you for everything.
Good to have you here, Tim.
Thanks.
We'll see you soon, I hope.